Today we're gonna stop talking about conspiracy theories. It's just goofy and it makes you sound crazy. So stop it. We're done. Conspiracy theories are over and we're gonna talk about facts. Fact. I'm on location in the lovely city of Paris, France. Muy bueno. There seems to be a laziness demon that has been following me around for days, and I don't know how to get rid of it, so I thought maybe the YouTube community could help me with this demon issue. Like, how do you get rid of demons? This hazy cloud just keeps following me around, guys, and I don't know what to do about it. I was going to make some predictions about 2011, 2012, just talk about some crazy shit that, like, you're not supposed to bring up, you're not supposed to talk about on the radio, on the news, on YouTube, on anything. It makes you sound crazy. 9/11, I don't buy the official story, crazy, conspiracy, oh my god. I want to talk about some other stuff that, like, I'm not saying I believe in, but I'm just saying what if and whatever. Some of it has more evidence than others, some of it's just like a crazy, like, man, what if this shit happened? But I'm going to say all the crazy things that, like, you're not supposed to say, or at least I'm supposed to keep inside of my head and whatever. But let's start off with 9/11 truth and the people versus the government. Like, obviously the official story is bullshit. We know it. There's a little clash here. We have a conflict. I don't know how to resolve it, but I want to talk about what creeps me out most about 9/11. Building 7. Like, I guess the whole thing creeps me out, but it is almost like that was meant to be discovered. Like, it's too obvious. It's right on the fucking news. It happened. Didn't they know? We'd be like, this building came down at about free fall speed and there was, what, a couple fires in it? Like, man, they had to have known this shit. Like, was it meant to be discovered? Do they want this whole 9/11 truth versus normal people clash, this conflict? Like, I just wonder, are they further trying to divide people? Or it seems like that shit was meant to be discovered, and I do not know why. If you have theories about it, post it, but, like, seriously, didn't they know? Maybe they just think we're idiots, I don't know, but that kind of creeps me out. Like, is this still part of their plan? Like, we're going to discover 9/11 truth and take to the streets or something? Like, I don't know. But why? All I can think of is that plane that Rumsfeld slipped up and whatever, Freudian slipped out, that they shot down. Was it Flight 93, I think? Maybe that was meant to hit Building 7? I have no fucking idea, but come on, like, they had to have known we would know this shit. Like, it's so fucking obvious. I don't know. But I'm going to make some more predictions, because it seems there's a great deal of evil forces, whatever you want to call it, in the universe. I don't necessarily believe in these evil laziness demons behind me, but whatever. There's for-profit industries that want us at war and want you in fear for security and want to sell you safety. So I'm just going to talk about some other ideas. Like, I kind of think, if I had to make some predictions, we will see an influenza outbreak, a biological attack, some sort of disease scare in America, in the whole world, in Western societies, whatever, in the next year or two. Like, I think that's some biblical prophecies that we'll have, I don't know if it's disease or whatever, but it looks like it's coming. I saw Jesse Ventura on his Truth Is Out There, whatever, that's my channel, but what is this? The Truth channel, on his conspiracy theory show, with all those coffins, those plastic graves, whatever you want to call it. What are they making those for? Like, are they suspecting something's going to happen? What's the media hyping swine flu about all the time? Like, are they going to try to sell us vaccines? Like, I think all that shit's poison, but if it comes down to, like, if they really want to fuck up America, and maybe even turn our military, our armed forces, against the average people, they have to have people scared. And what are you going to be afraid of? You're going to be afraid of people that have diseases. It's going to be like that movie Outbreak, I think, where you don't want any of these new zombies or whatever, people that are going to kill you if they breathe on you, coming anywhere near you. And I think it's kind of plausible that if, through the media or whatever, like they did 9/11, they convinced people that there was an outbreak in major cities of some deadly disease or swine flu's killing people now or whatever it mutated, like, I don't know, just some disease, and like it needed to be stopped. Fuck. I gotta plug my computer in real quick. See, that demon just keeps following me wherever I go. But if the military, if the National Guard, if whoever, the police were convinced that there is an outbreak, a disease in, say, Los Angeles or San Diego or some shit, and that anyone coming out of that city is going to spread it to the rest of the population, they'd be a lot more likely to be like, well, let's line up a fucking barrier there and not let anyone out, and use our force to keep people there, and if you try to cross out of this city, we're going to shoot you. I'd hate to see it happen, but it seems like it could. I don't know. I hope it never does. I'd encourage everybody in the armed forces to never, ever, ever take up arms against people like that. Like, if there is a biological outbreak here, I think it's kind of everybody for themselves. Like, have bleach, have water around, clean your shit up, have those face masks, have food on hand, stay inside, maybe put plastic and tape up your windows, seal your house up as much as you can, and cut down your contact with everybody. But, man, like, don't ever try to barricade people into a city because of an outbreak. Like, I don't know. That's the kind of thing. I think they're going to try to trick people, though, where, like, the military will not just take up arms against the people unless they're convinced there's a really good reason for it. FEMA camps. What the fuck are they? Why are we wasting money on that shit? Who's locked up in them right now? If you haven't seen Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theory issue on it, his show, go watch it. Like, you can find it on YouTube, but they go up to one of them, and there's people inside staffing it. There's people locked up. It looks like a fucking prison. It's a concentration camp. What the fuck is that for? I kind of think, like, I don't like seeing that shit in America at all, obviously, but, like, I kind of think the only way they could convince the military or somebody that we need to put people in there is maybe like, oh, these people have an outbreak of a disease, we need to quarantine them there, or whatever. But, like, you won't have a modern Holocaust or whatever where the military comes and rounds people up and puts them in a concentration camp unless there's some fear or some reason to make them think that this is necessary. They might take the illegal immigrants first, but, like, either way, the Americans have a right to know what's going on there, what the fuck is it, why is it there, who's locked up in it, how much money did we waste on this shit. Like, we have a serious problem with prisons in this country, and I don't know what the fuck to think about these FEMA camps. Like, aren't they there to protect us from emergencies? Like fucking disease outbreaks and shit like that? And you know the media could sell you it. The media could totally sell it. Like, they've sold us 9/11, they sold us other shit. I'm in Paris right now, and these are shitty special effects with this demon behind me, but you guys know what I'm talking about. An alien invasion is coming. Maybe. But if it does come, and it's just on CNN and like Fox News and shit, BBC, on the corporate news networks, Western news, I'm not going to believe it. Like, I think it's honestly more likely in this day and age that the military or the military-industrial complex, there's some high-tech organization built some fancy spaceship with some special effects, and they're going to come down and film it and give us another 9/11 job and try to sell us that, like, we are invaded by aliens, occupied by aliens, at war with aliens, wasting a bunch of resources, shipping shit out into outer space. I don't know, but, like, this is so fucked up, man. If an alien invasion happens, until I see one of these things, maybe can cut it open until we dissect some aliens or something, I'm more likely to think it's some corrupt people trying to trick us and pull some shit over. Like, aliens will not come and do interviews on CNN and fucking corporate news networks and Fox bullshit. Like, if they really come, I bet you'll see it in the sky and it will be fancy, and they'll probably be invading us with Martians or broadcasting something in the clouds, or, I mean, the technology might even be out there to do that now, but it's not going to be some CNN shit. And I know that's far-fetched, but I mean, really, 9/11 was far-fetched as a motherfucker. They had to have known they were going to get caught, but they did it anyway. Like, I don't know. It's a crazy world. I'm just talking about some theories. I'm not saying I believe this shit's going to happen, but I'm just saying, like, it could happen, and if something like this did happen, that's the way I'm going to be looking at it at first. Like, Project Bluebeam, I don't know, fucking all this EMF technology. Like, technology is crazy. That's just what I'm saying. Like, I want to dissect one of these aliens before I'll believe it. And aliens could come. They probably are out there, and they might be visiting us anyway. But they're not going to be putting on some CNN shit about how global warming is about to kill your planet, and we're here to save you with these carbon credits through the international banks or some shit. No. Alright, let's keep going here. End times versus corporate hype. You see a lot of shit on TV about 2012. Like, who's been hyping that shit? It's the media. It's 2012. It's some authors and shit. There's money in it. I could come out here right now and sell you some fucking, this is going to happen in 2012. Buy my book. Blah, blah, blah. Mayan prophecies. All I want to say is that some Mayans were recently in Washington, D.C. speaking out against GMO crops, genetically modified crops. And I fucking think that shit is really bad too. At least in some senses. Like, I understand natural selection and will select good varieties of crops, but don't be splicing my food with different genes, please. Anyway, if these Mayans were really that concerned or whatever, thought the world was going to end in a year and a half or whatever, would they really give a fuck what we plant up here? I don't think they would. I think it's a lot more likely that the media is trying to sell you some shit. Maybe it's just to keep you distracted. Maybe it's just to keep you distracted. Keep you reading about Mayan prophecy and ancient bullshit. Not to disrespect their beliefs or whatever, but like, anyone can write books about the end of time. It's not coming. I don't believe it. It is funny how the Bible kind of looks like end times are coming, you know, all these Israel prophecies, whatever. Like, I've seen this Bible code guy before on TV, on the radio, whatever, and like, he's trying to make prophecies and say the Bible has secret codes in it. I don't buy into any of this shit. When the end of time does come, we're all the same. God's gonna put it in the sky. God's gonna make the earth shake or some shit, and we're gonna know it. It's not gonna be something where like, hey guys, God told me the end of time is in 2 months. Buy my book, or I'm gonna put this on TV, watch my TV show or whatever. Like, yeah, that shit sells television, it sells books, it sells shit. But come on, you really think God's gonna single a couple people out? God's chosen people to know, you know, what's gonna happen? No, I don't. I guess he did it with Noah though, right? But I don't buy into this end of time shit. I want to talk about what could happen though. And like, I think the whole idea is as shit gets crazier and crazier, it looks more and more like the times of Revelations in the Bible or whatever, the time of the end, and like, you know, oh, outbreak, disease, war, fucking famine, like all that shit. But a lot of this shit is being created naturally. I think they're trying to sell you a backstory. And maybe they put the Bible, I don't know, maybe some of those verses or whatever have been put in there. Or maybe it's just was wrote there because, like, you can always figure there's going to be an earthquake, and we can claim that. And, like, you can always try to make this and that, like a disease. The media can always sell us a famine or a disease or some shit. And you can kind of hype up on the news that the end of times are here. I'm not saying they are, they might be, but I doubt it. Terror. Homebred terror. The Bible code predicts that we're going to see a nuclear bomb out in America, in major cities someplace. I don't know. I don't really listen to that guy. He's full of shit. But I think we might see a nuclear bomb, a dirty bomb, a biological bomb, some sort of chemical weapons, biological weapons. I think you're going to see attacks on major cities. I hope to God I'm wrong, but I think about it. I mean, they did 9/11. They'll sell you some more bullshit to take us to another war, whatever. Like, that would probably be a good way. Like, if something gets nuked, we don't need to go bomb a city about it. It should be who did it, who done it. I mean, this is Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes? I can't talk. But this shit's crazy. I'm not going to be an electable candidate anymore. Like, we need to investigate what happened and not just go say, we're going to bomb Afghanistan or Iran because they're harboring terrorists or whatever. And, like, that's another reason I think that Bible code shit is full of shit, because that author was talking about how Iran was going to be behind it or whatever. Like, man, the controlled media wants to demonize the hell out of Iran. What, their world leader, Iran's leader, denies the Holocaust? Oh my God. A disagreement about history. That fucking anti-Semite fucking crazy person, like, they say he said he wanted to wipe Israel off the map. Well, he didn't say that in English, so I mean, there's a translation issue there. Like, he doesn't speak English. He didn't say, I'm going to wipe Israel off the map. What words did he use and how did he translate them? Look it up. All I will say, too, Iran has not started a war in fucking hundreds of years. And they would make a great ally for America. Like, people don't realize that a lot of this controlled media wants to put a clash there. I think Iran is skeptical of us because, because of the whole revolution back in the, what was it, the 70s, where we came into their country and caused an uprising and put somebody else into power who was more sympathetic to Western ways, like Western corporations and whatnot. Yeah, I wonder why that guy's suspicious of a revolution in his country. So yeah, a nuclear bomb, some sort of mass weapon of mass destruction going off. If that happens, who did it? There's shit to be traced back. You know, where did these weapons come from? Israel has the only unregistered, uninspected nuclear arsenal in the world that we know of. There's probably more, but like, they love to talk about how Iran's trying to get nuclear weapons, Iran's building a nuclear power plant, whatever, when they have them, and they won't let UN inspectors come inspect their own shit. Like, I would like to see a world where everyone's nuclear arsenals and everyone's biological weapons and shit were cataloged. So at least if one goes off someplace, we can kind of trace it back, hopefully, and be like, this is the same type of uranium or whatever that was in, you know, an American plant here or a Russian plant here, or this came from there, and at least try to trace back how the fuck it happened. Because that's a better option than saying we're going to go to war with some country who's harboring terrorists. Arab boogeymen, like, good God. Major earthquake. I kind of think one's coming. Some Russians predicted that it will be on like the 19th of March when the moon is closest to the earth as it is in a long time. A full moon too, and like there's a lot of good evidence that suggests the lunar cycles put gravity on the tectonic plates and that causes them. We've been seeing seismic activity all around the world lately that I haven't seen a good explanation for, but it's some weird shit. I would not be shocked at all to see a big fucking earthquake in America, in more cities, but I hope, you know, it doesn't happen. I'm just talking about some crazy shit like HARP. What the fuck are they doing up in Alaska with that thing? Fucking with our stratosphere, fucking with the atmosphere, like charging up particles in space, like experimenting with everything. And we think we understand global warming and what's causing that. Like, they talk about pole shifts. So if the pole of the Earth is shifting and we're fucking with the atmosphere at the same time, how are you going to have accurate data about what the climate should be doing and if we have global warming or global cooling or any of that shit? We need to stop anybody from doing this shit. Spraying fucking chemicals, these chemtrails, I do not like that at all. Like, there are people testing a bunch of fucking toxic chemicals falling up in snow in like mountains in California, all over the place. What the fuck are these chemtrails? Why are they spraying on us? Like, we need to figure out what that is. Like, that's a conspiracy theory I want an answer to for real. Major earthquake. Food and gas rationing. We already kind of see oil shortages. Obama's talking about tapping the National Strategic Reserve, whatever. Well, yeah, what is that, like 6 months worth of oil? Like, man, we need fucking solutions. Like, I don't really think we even need to be drilling out in the ocean. Like, I wouldn't mind drilling in Alaska at this point, but, like, we should be self-sufficient as a country, and we should be serious about getting this oil money out of power and saying, you know what, there's a lot better of ways to do shit. Maybe we could switch to ethanol, and you know what, you don't have to make ethanol out of corn. They're always going to say that that is not doable, whatever. It's, you know, too much energy to convert the corn and grow the corn or whatever. Look what Brazil is doing with sugarcane and what they're running in their cars right now. Ethanol is possible. Fidel Castro powered his Jeeps and shit back when he had his revolution in Cuba, what, 60, 70 years ago? With ethanol. You can make it right on the farm. It's easy. Like, it's also illegal if you don't have money to have a, what is it, alcohol distillation permit. But whatever. I mean, like, it's a viable option, and we're stuck on oil. What if Israelis actually did 9/11? And what if those Israelis all happen to be Jewish? How would you express that idea without being an anti-Semite? As you can see, I'm a skinhead. Hairy ass skinhead. No, but really, if you look at it, there's a lot of Israeli ties, a lot of Zionists involved with that shit. I kind of think Israel is just a front for the war machine and the powers that be that profit all of these wars, profit off of all of these wars. Like, how long have they been not able to get along with their neighbors? And why does America keep sending them money? Seriously, guys, learn how to get along with your fucking neighbors. That's not my fucking problem. That's not America's fucking problem. If you want to go keep fighting your own wars, keep fighting your own wars. Good luck. But seriously, we need to get a real investigation into who actually did 9/11. And we need to fucking call truth what it is and not be so afraid to say what Israel is doing is fucked up and we need to stop it. It's an apartheid, racist fucking state. Here's a conspiracy for you, anti-Semites out there. Protocols of Zion. I think it's called the Protocols of the Elder Learned Zion or some shit like that. I don't even know. Have you guys read it? You know what it is? Like, look it up. For real, look it up, read about it. You can see on Wikipedia they call it some crazy shit that like only crazy anti-Semites and wacko, hairy-ass people believe in. But read the actual specifics of it. I'm not saying every Jew is doing it or whatever, but like, you're talking about taking over finance, taking over the media, using those to profit, you know, dumbing down our education system, getting the media, getting the masses hooked on shit that doesn't even matter, like sports and WWF and fucking what other bullshit we care about as Americans, what Charlie Sheen is doing, what Hollywood's doing. But look at who actually runs this shit. There's a group of people, like they all tend to be Zionists. It's called the Elder Protocols of the Learned Elder Zion, whatever. Not the Protocols of the Zion Jew or whatever. Like, this isn't all Jews. This isn't round up the Jews. I'm just saying there are a group of elite bankers that are behind a lot of this New World Order, whatever you want to call it. There are people that aren't even Jewish behind it. I didn't even know about any of this until I started looking into 9/11. But if you do the math and you look into it, you're going to come down to this shit too, and you're going to be like, huh, New World Order, Elders Protocol of Zion, whatever you want to call it. Like, I mean, Dick Cheney's not a Jew, I don't think, and anyone can convert to being a Jew. But we got to get over this whole, oh my God, he said that about Israel? He thinks Israel did it? Well, yeah, the rest of you guys think radical Muslims did it. Fucking, I think radical Jews did it. Oh my God, that anti-Semite. It's fucking crazy, the shit that people are afraid to say. And how we just label shit like, oh my God, he's talking about aliens, he's talking about fucking nukes going off. Like, it's just, it's bullshit. Look who really controls the media. They were behind 9/11. Like, look up Zionism. Figure out what that shit is. If you don't know, look it up, for real. Look what's happening in Palestine. The occupied whatever. You probably won't hear that term on the media, but like, all these Palestinians with their rocks, those terrorists are just throwing shit, shooting off model rockets and shit, living in poverty. Like, here's what I want to talk about. God's chosen people. Does that sound like an arrogant statement? Like, I believe I am God's chosen person. The rest of y'all are just my YouTube viewers. I'm just kidding. I love all my subscribers. But, like, that's what they believe. They think they're God's chosen people. Not every Jew, but these Zionists who are here, like, God gave me this land, and we're going to fucking kick you off of this land. Pow, 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 pow. Like, they're stealing fucking land because God gave it to them, whining about how they don't have a homeland. I can't afford land in my own country. Ooh, cry me a fucking river. Fucking, how would you express ideas like that, though, in not anti-Semitic way? Really, like, I think the Jewish faith is kind of fucked up. It preaches Jewish supremacy, and is probably just as bad as all these other organized religions that I speak out against, too, but for some reason, you sound like a fucking skinhead when you start talking like that. I never even knew, but here's one other thing I'll say. Where did the phrase, don't Jew me out of that, or Jew me out of this, or whatever come from? Like, I'm just saying, man, where'd the phrase shill come from? Look it up. Everybody hates the Jews. No. It's kind of like when you can't get along with your friend, or maybe you know that one person who's kind of an asshole or an arrogant prick and has trouble getting along with people. There's a reason that they can't get along with people. Like, I'm not saying every Jew either, but this Zionist bullshit, God gave me your land, pow, 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 pow. Why do you think people don't like you? Going on TV trying to demonize Iran, trying to fire us up into another war. Look at why we're in fucking Iraq and Afghanistan. Watch fucking Ryan Dawson's film War by Deception 2011, people. What other crazy shit should I say now that I'm not allowed to say if I want to be an electable candidate in 2012? Goddamn, what a goofy country. What a goofy country. Oh, I want to talk about homelands and the elders of Zion and all that bullshit, protocols or whatever. Let's imagine white people just decided like, hey, white men need our homeland. This is our land, our homeland. White males are the chosen people. White people are the chosen people. White people, white people, white people. That sounds pretty fucking racist-ass Nazi shit. But when it's the Jews, the chosen people, and this is our God-given land, cry about the Holocaust that I don't believe in anymore, and I'll let you look that up too, well, that's a different story. Now I'm going to move on. I'm done. I don't hate the Jews. I like a lot of Jews. Some of them are very funny. Seinfeld is an excellent show. Larry David. Well, we're talking about the white people homeland, United States of America. I might as well go off about what I think of our armed services. All the people in them are good people. They care about our country and they want to respect it. I guess not all of them, but 99% of the people are there because they believe in our country, the cause. You know, you might have a psycho killer just trying to kill some people, whatever. But these people, you know, the whole anti-war movement wants to like hate on them sometimes. I won't do that because I see them as my brothers. I see them in a situation I don't want to be in. But they're people, and you know, we can't fight. We have to have unity if we want to express ideas. We have to come together and explain, like, you know, why are you fighting this war? And if 9/11 was an inside job, I bet they'd be just as pissed to think that we are blowing people up, the wrong people, for some shit that wasn't even them. Like, I'm trying to bring truth to that, and I stand behind our troops. I would love to see you guys home in America where you belong. Maybe even on the border. If we see civil unrest in the streets, which could happen when we have food shortages and shit like that, to my brothers in the armed forces, don't ever let a Kent State type shit happen. Don't ever barricade a city and say everyone in there's gonna die when we don't know what the fuck's been released in the city. We don't know what it is. Like, if shit ever gets that bad, go home. I mean, here's what I would say. The only time you need to be at war in the United States is when foreign forces are coming ashore. You don't need to be in Denver, surrounding cities. You don't need to be pulling, you know, Kent State type issues. Like, if somebody ever ordered me to shoot my own citizens or whatever when they're out protesting peacefully, expressing their First Amendment right, what I believe is the proper response and what I would do is shoot in the head whoever gave me that order. Think about it. If they ever come trying to take our guns away, you know what the Second Amendment says. Seriously, if they try to, you know, get you doing some fucked up shit like that, and there's such civil unrest in the country, go home and take care of your family, protect your property, be in your militias. You guys are a valuable asset, you know, like, is the ex-military a threat to the powers that be? They kind of are. I'm not saying go fucking shoot up anything, but I'm just saying, like, the ex-military is here to defend the Constitution, and if the powers that be want to trample that shit, well then yeah, you're goddamn right they're a threat. More crazy shit. Are 9/11 truthers a threat? Maybe. I think the revolution will be a peaceful awakening. A peaceful awakening, but you never know. This is crazy. What if Call of Duty and other video games hypnotized people that play them, and all of a sudden the TV or whatever could broadcast a signal to be like, yeah, you're playing Call of Duty, and start going out in the city like a zombie shooting the place up? I doubt it, but that'd be some crazy shit, man. That'd make a good movie, right? Oh yeah, my last prediction, I think Bigfoot will be sighted smoking pot in the mountains of Colorado, but upon closer inspection, that'll be my hairy ass this summer. Peace, YouTube. Pray for more snow, and adios.
In the car, I smoke two joints. I smoke two joints when I play video games. at every 10,000 points. I smoke 2 joints. I smoke 2 joints in time of peace and 2 in time of war. I smoke 2 joints before I smoke 2 joints.